In the last video, we just talked about quadrilateral shapes in a general term, and we said that all quadrilateral shapes will have 4 sides because quad means 4 and lateral means sides. Now in this video, we're going to go into different types of quadrilateral shapes. So we're going to be giving specific types. Just for the triangles, we also have specific types. The quadrilateral shapes also have specific types. Now the first one we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about 2 at once, is the rhombus and the square, because they're quite similar with just one property being different. And you need to know all of the properties of all these different shapes I'm going to go through. So for the first one, a rhombus, in a rhombus we have all sides being equal. Remember, these dashes here mean that each of these 4 sides are going to be equal. Now also means that we have the opposite angles are going to be equal. So for example, if we have this angle right here, the one opposite of it is going to be equal. So these 2 angles are going to be equal. And this angle right there, I'll draw a different color, this angle right here, the opposite angle is also going to be equal. So we've got 2 pairs of opposite angles being equal. That's also important. And the last one is that we've got 2 pairs of parallel sides. And so for example, this side right here is parallel to this side right here. And what I mean by parallel is, if they're parallel, that means you could draw them as long as you want to. It's like a straight line, they would never meet. Right? So these can be 10 meters, 100 meters, doesn't matter, they would never meet. Whereas if we have 2 sides, for example, this side right here and that side right here, if we were to draw this side longer, at some point it would hit the other line, it would meet the other line. So in this case, these 2 sides would not be parallel. So parallel means they would never meet. And how we could write that would be, first we just, so I'm going to show you how we can write that 2 sides are parallel. First, we're going to just talk about the vertexes. Remember, this vertex here we can call A, this one we can call B, this one we can call C, and this one we can call D. The way we name the actual sides would be this side right here. We name A because it has it's A, and then it goes D, A to D. So the side is between A and D, so we call it AD. That's the side AD, this one right here, and the one in green. And this side we can call BC because it's between vertex B and C, so side BC. Now, how to show that it's parallel, all we have to do is we have to say AD, that's this side right there, and the one in green, is parallel, and 2 lines, this just means they're parallel, that means they would never meet. So AD is parallel to BC, this side right there. So these 2 sides are parallel. And for rhombuses, we have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So this pair would be parallel, and also this pair, these 2 sides here would never meet, the ones in purple. They would be parallel as well. Right, so what's the difference between a square and a rhombus? They're very similar. They all have all sides being equal as well, so you can see they have all equal sides. These dashes show that. And also they have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So this side and this side is parallel, and this side and this side is parallel. So that's all the same. The only difference is the angles. So in a rhombus, we had opposite angles being equal. So we said this angle and this angle, these 2 angles are equal, and this angle and this angle, these 2 angles are equal. But in a square, we have all angles being equal. So we've got all angles being equal, and each of these angles is 90 degrees. So we've got one, remember, right, 90 degrees is a rectangle, a right angle. So 1 right angle, 2, 3, 4. Squares always have right angles. So we've got, if we just add them all up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, we would get 360. And that's important because remember, all angles have to add up to 360, and that works out for a square. So for a square, all angles are equal, whereas a rhombus, only the opposite angles are equal. That's the only difference between a rhombus and a square. Right, so parallelogram. Now here, we're going to compare the parallelogram to the rectangle. And you're going to find, again, they're very similar, which is one difference. So parallelogram, we're going to have the opposite sides are going to be equal. So not like with the rhombus, the one we had beforehand, we had all sides being equal. Here, only the opposite sides are equal. So for example, this side here, these 2 sides, this side and this side, are equal. And this side and this side are equal. So we've got 2 sides here and 2 sides here are equal, not all of them, in equal in length. Now also we've got opposite angles being equal. So for example, this angle is going to be equal to this angle. These 2 are going to be equal in size. And this angle right here and this angle, these are the opposite of each other. These are also going to be equal. Now the last one was just again that we have two pairs of parallel sides. So for example, this side here and this side here, these two are going to be parallel, they will never meet. And this side here and this side here, the one I'm drawing in green, these two are also parallel, they would never meet. So I've got two pairs of them, of parallel sides that would never meet. That's for a parallelogram. And if you look at the rectangle, the only difference, so again, we've got this being the same, we've got opposite sides are equal, so this side and the opposite of it, this side, these two are equal in length. And so is this side and this side. These two sides are also equal in length. So that's same for parallelogram and rectangle. Also that two pairs of parallel sides exist. So in a parallelogram we had two pairs of parallel sides, and so do we in a rectangle. This side, these two sides are parallel, they would never meet. And this side here and the opposite side here, these two are also parallel, they would never meet, right? So we've got two pairs of parallel sides for a rectangle, just like with a parallelogram. Again, the only difference is the angle. So we have, in a rectangle, we have all angles are equal, whereas in a parallelogram, we only have the opposite angles being equal. So that's the difference. Parallelogram, opposite angles being equal, whereas in a rectangle, all angles are equal. And just like with a square, they're all going to be equal to 90 degrees. So each of these is a right angle, and for a rectangle, that's always going to be the case. So if we add them up, 90 plus 90 plus 90, we would get to 360, and that's what we have to do for quadrilateral shapes. Right? So they're all going to be 90 for a rectangle. So what I want you to get out of this video, I want you to know there's different types of quadrilateral shapes. There's, for example, the rhombus, the square, the parallelogram, and the rectangle. And I want you to know that the rhombus and the square are very similar. The rhombus basically is, the square is a special type of rhombus, and the rectangle and the parallelogram are very similar. The rectangle is a special type of parallelogram. And you also need to know all these different properties we went through beforehand. It's really important as well.